Here we are at Parsons.
themselves, unless otherwise noted. If they've had sponsorship, they will also let you know. And we are going to have 5 minutes of presentation for each student, followed by 3 minutes of questions by the jurors. So I'd also like to take this moment to say a huge thank you for the jurors coming today. It's 3 hours out of very busy schedules, so we really appreciate it. Please jump in with questions right away once the student is completed, and just really interact with them and give them good feedback. So I'm going to introduce the class to you, and also say thank you to Caroline Simonelli and Max Wilson, who led them this year. So if you just give a round of applause for them. Would be so kind to introduce yourselves and use your mics and tell us your affiliation, and then we'll begin the presentation.
Sophie Théalé, fashion designer.
Sandrine Bernard, Solstice Lace.
Maggie Norris, Maggie Norris Couture.
Owen Ruck, the founder of the Textile Arts Center.
I think I have this one. Is this one here? Yeah. Melinda Wax, millinery teacher and director of continuing ed for Parsons.
Hi, my name is Irina Pantayeva, and I'm at your service. I am a model, an actress, and also have a background as a fashion designer when I was back in my country, which is Russia.
I'm Brandon Sun. I'm a women's wear designer.
Tom Walco, I'm director of design for Carlisle, etc.
Hello, good morning. My name is Kathryn Patton, and this is my Thesis collection. My inspiration derives from the love of my life, who is currently a cadet at the United States Military Academy, West Point. And being a military wife in the near future will be a not so easy task. Because a lot comes with it. You could go without seeing your husband for a year, work will break out tomorrow, and he's gone, and ultimately, things you don't want to think about, that is something to do. So, in order to deal with these things, you have to stay true to yourself and make sure you don't bring conflict into his life or yours. It just makes things worse, and let's head to be clear at all times, and now you think problems to think about. So I want to create a collection to embody myself, so I can go back and remember who I am and what I'm about. And everyone I talk to or sees my clothes, they always like, it looks like you, and I couldn't agree more. And I also wanted to talk in terms of that with my fabrications and treatments, which is how I design. Initially, I would design every single time. I'd pull out fabrics, put them next to each other, and create silhouettes from there. It's just how I work. So that's an extremely important part of my collection. And I can bring out Deborah now in my second third look. We use a lot of fur with paillettes. And this leather treatment here has what I like to sound smart with saying is acrylic polymer dispersion, but really is an extra heavy semi-gloss that you paint on, and it forms into these hard peaks. The fur and the leather is a form of protection of its own. Leather's, skin. Skin is like an armor because it protects our immune systems from diseases and bacteria, and keeps our body fluids that we need essentially for us in, like water and blood. And fur, as you know, is protection for animals and also a form of camouflage, so that speaks in terms of that whole protection for myself against the hard times to come. I'm going to bring out Jackie now in my second book. All 4 of my 5 looks of fur. And this is a cut and sew knit, along with others, with a, this is blue fox, black paillettes, and leather and beading. I like a lot of stuff going on there, if you can't tell. I'm not making it simple, because it's satisfying and easy enough. And the gray fur shown is silk fox. I've been interning with a fur company called Fantastic Furs. We've been in the collaborative process. They took me on as like a child, so I love them. But they helped me and taught me so much on sew fur, and I worked on my stuff every time I was there. I got a lot from my internships. I also interned at Bureau Wang, and I got these from them. They're on organza strips. I cut them all off and sewed them on here and there. And also the gray paillettes as well they were throwing out. I used those. So my internships have helped me a lot, whether they know it or not. Taking pictures, thank you. And also, I wanted how this is these are always in a joyful all seams. It's also kind of in my head a form of armor as well. Something we think about back in the Middle Ages, where it comes over and protects the jewelry you're wearing. So in my mind, whenever I why these feminine things in front of me, because we just spoke about military and stuff. But I just really wanted to speak me, and I think I did a good job at that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations, beautiful. A lot of work, hand work, definitely. I like the color combination. I definitely can picture the woman wearing it. And it's very creative. And can you explain again the technique on the leather? Very interesting.
Yes. It's I got it at Utrecht Merch Store. I was just looking through, and I found this. It showed samples of the treatments. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't think that'll work. And I did, and it worked. I used 28 ounces of this stuff to paint on here. It doesn't look like much, but I'll glob that stuff on, and it's just so wonderful because you can just paint what you want in it, and it's white to begin with, and it just forms these peaks. It stays where it is and dries transparently. It's really fun. It's cleaning. It's my stress reliever.
It's obvious that you really love working with materials. Being someone who doesn't look great in a lot of different proportions, I'm curious about the choices of the separations. I know it's fashionable to have something like the top top that you have there with that skirt, but my eye is seeing this top with that skirt.
I've put that together before. Let's work.
So for most women, looks that are this varied in terms of the proportion chops the body up so much that most women choose to wear something that elongates them. And most women aren't as tall and lanky as the model.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if you were to take this collection into an area where a woman that loves what you're doing would wear it, how could you do that so that it would be a little bit more proportional for most of us?
It's a good question.
Would it seem dreary to you to have that skirt with that top with that?
No, I've had some people who like art and fashion who are like, oh, I'll put this together. Like it's really up to the customer. Really, I present the work. If they want to do it the way they do, I'm perfectly fine
Right,
with that.
but most customers will want to know how you would do it because most women that shop are looking to the designer to tell them how to put pieces together. So,
Well, I put the pieces together how I would like them to be. So that would, I guess, be the answer for me. That's the way I would tell them to go about it because that's the way I did it originally. But like I said, I'm open to, as a designer, you want people to be able to play with clothes and feel comfortable in their clothes. So going about it the way they need to, I think, is the ultimate answer to that.
just a word to the wise. Most women really want a designer to tell them how to wear the pieces, and very few women have the sort of courage to take pieces and mix them up the way that you have, which makes them really like showpieces almost as art. So in terms of if you are thinking of selling to people that are out there buying all the clothing in the fashion world, most women want the designer to create a direction for them. And I mean, I know it's your thesis, but it's so beautiful that I sort of want to see it in a way that maybe more women might be wearing it.
Excuse me. I have a question. How is this first, is that a jacket or is that constructed? How do you get into it?
Yeah, it's a jacket.
Well, there's one thing I think is interesting that I always love beautiful, sort of creative pieces that are separate. And sometimes I think it's that a woman will take this sweater and wear it with something else.
Yes.
And the other, and even a skirt would be great with a simple white shirt or
Oh, yes, of course.
But what I love about the jackets, it's iconic pieces that you can, like that would be great over a simple black dress.
Right.
And so it's really about, I think interpreting your pieces can go for a lot more women, because I think women are looking for individual iconic pieces.
Yes, I'm so
that
open
are
to that.
art, that are
That's
art
it.
driven.
Yes, it's very responsive. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Hi. I really like your sense of proportion, and I really like the way that you play actually with it, and the way that you mix the skirt with the top, because I think in fashion you need to try and to mix like pieces doesn't go together. So I like the fur and the top together, also the best look that you said, and I think that it's very interesting and refreshing to see a collection like that.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Again, we really appreciate the jurors and giving them your time. Please do not leave without completing your ballots. Hand them either to myself or to Francesca. And those of you that are joining us will be reconvening at 2 o'clock for our next session. Thank you so much.